Welcome to the revolution. Joe Biden today says that he has cancer thanks to the oil industry. Now, the White House goes on to say that it was skin cancer years ago, but that is not what Biden said. So let's go ahead and watch the clip, then we will read this article, and then we will discuss it. Here we go.
Drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer, and why I can't for the longest time.
So he says something about an oil slick and you had to use your windshield wipers to get rid of the oil. And that's why that's not why I did. That's not why I had. That's why I and so many others have cancer. That's what your president of the United States just said today. Now, I can't imagine what the actual administrative office of our government is thinking right now, watching the most powerful man in the world say that he, in a dementia-ridden, speech like everyone that he ever gives, And again, this is like, it's hard to have sympathy for the man when he's literally shoveling our country's grave as we speak by peddling every single tax dollar that you've ever given in your entire life to Ukraine, just so that he can, make the money back to Burisma through Hunter Biden, which we're going to find a little bit about more here when we go through all these text messages and iCloud situation. But let's read through this article. It says that President Biden said Wednesday that he has cancer, forced the White House to have a press conference to quickly clarify, you mean lie on his behalf, because he said something that you didn't want him to say, that he was referring to skin cancer treatment that he had before taking office last year. The remark initially appeared to be a stunningly casual health announcement during a speech about global warming. And this is like, when you think of the president of the United States, they literally don't flush his shit on Air Force One because they're afraid of people like finding his poop and like figuring out the medical situation that he's in, right? So then he literally goes on to TV. I don't know what this is. If you're looking, I did like a robot. He goes on to TV and just casually announces that he has cancer, talking about the climate crisis, right? It goes on to say, that's why I and so damn many other people I grew up with have cancer, and why for the longest time Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation. Well, I'd like to see that compared to your soldiers, because the actual amount of United States military members and veterans that have cancer as a result of burn pits, Agent Orange, asbestos, PFOAs on Air Force bases that are the result of like leaking fluids at, if you don't know this, it's like there's a documentary called The Devil You Know, I think is the name of it. And it's a whole documentary about 3M. And it talks about the basically when, we had a situation happen at my Air Force base when I was there, where if there's a jet fuel fire, like if one of our aircraft lit on fire in a hangar, they had this foam that would basically cover up the entirety of the hangar in like 30 seconds. And it would stop the fire from happening. But what they didn't tell you is that when it did that, it also leaked into all your water supplies and caused high levels of cancer rates in all of our veterans on U.S. Air Force bases. And if there's a tracking website that you can go to where you can actually look and see the maps, like a heat map of where there's high levels of PFOAs in the water, and literally every single red mark on the map is an actual Air Force base. It's unbelievable. So it's going to be really, quite terrifying to see down the road how many people in the Air Force actually end up with cancer. Terrifying. Anyways, side note, you should look at the documentary because it's crazy. It goes on to say it's unclear why Biden chose to use the present verb tense to describe his experience with cancer. Well, you can't even say that he's an idiot and can't speak a full sentence or has dementia, or, you have to say it's unclear. Like, no, there's either one of two options. Either he has cancer and you don't want to talk about it, or B, he has dementia. That's A and B. There's no C here. That's the only options here, but you decided to say it's unclear. Yeah, okay. Greg Prince of X Strategies LLC tweeted, he said, I have cancer in the present tense. You absolute dipshits. I love how they quoted him there. Like it was just a beautifully articulated tweet about our president. Anarchist author Michael Malice meanwhile joked, "Don't worry about Joe Biden having cancer. He is married to a doctor." Oh, the Dr. Jill Biden thing just kills me. It refers to the fact that First Lady Jill Biden uses the honorific doctor to note her 2007 doctorate in education. It goes on to say that skin cancer is extremely common, especially among older adults who didn't wear sunscreen in their youth, and generally isn't life-threatening. Okay, who cares?